Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on
Memorial Day
weekend for our devotion on Saturday, and the scriptures being John 15 verse 13. Greater love has no one than this, that one laid down his life for his friends. And that passage of scripture and the fact that it's also Memorial Day weekend had me come out to Fort Rosecrans National Cemetery and pay my respects to those who have really exemplified that passage of scripture. And there are, of course, many here and in other national cemeteries around the country and the world. And so just reminding us of the sacrifice that people made so that we can experience the freedoms that we are able to experience in this, what I believe is the greatest country on earth. I'm standing by sitting here by a grave marker, the grave of Herbert C. Jones. And he was a Medal of Honor recipient. I don't have a personal connection with him or his family, but his story, as I did some research on Medal of Honor winners, really moved me. And so I wanted to share that with you by way of respect and honor for those who have given the sacrifice that give us the opportunity to to live in this wonderful free country of ours, as well as a way of exemplifying our scripture. Greater love is no one than this, than one laid down his life for his friends. I got some paperwork here to make sure that that I don't mess the story up. I really wanted to have this right, and I'll tell you why I chose Herbert Jones, Ensign Herbert Jones, for this devotion in just a minute. But let me give you some history on his life. He was born on January 21st, 1918, in Los Angeles, California, and he enlisted in the United States Naval Reserve on May 14th, 1935. He was commissioned an ensign on November 14th, 1940, and reported to the battleship USS California at Pearl Harbor 2 weeks later. On December 7th, 1941, the 23-year-old ensign was about to relieve the officer on deck on California when Japanese planes swooped in to attack. In the first wave, a torpedo and a bomb hit the ship. Jones dove into a smoke-filled hatchway and crawled along oil-slick decks to rescue a stricken sailor before being temporarily overcome by fumes. Reviving, he saw an anti-aircraft battery without a leader and, staggering to his feet, took command. As the second wave of Japanese planes came in, the young officer fired his guns until all their ammunition was expended. Since the torpedo had put California's ammunition hoist out of action, Jones quickly realized organized a party of volunteers to go below and pass the ammunition up by hand. They virtually needed shells had just begun to reach the battery when a bomb hit the ship and mortally wounded him. And his Medal of Honor citation states this: for conspicuous devotion to duty, extraordinary courage, and complete disregard of his own life, above and beyond the call of duty, during the attack on the fleet in Pearl Harbor by Japanese forces on 7th December 1941, Ensign Jones organized and led a party which was supplying ammunition to the anti-aircraft battery of the USS California after the mechanical hoist was put out of action when he was fatally wounded by a bomb explosion. When two men attempted to take him from the area, which was on fire, he refused to let them do so, saying in words to the effect, quote, "Leave me alone, I'm done for, get out of here before the magazine goes off," unquote. And he lost his life. That story really moved me, and in particular, because he was 23 years old. I can barely imagine that. I thought back in my own life when I was 23 and I was in Hawaii, and I was in Pearl Harbor, standing on the memorial to the Arizona, looking down into the water at the Arizona and thinking, paying my respects to those who had died in that action. The California in his day, in December 7th, only moored that not too far from the Arizona, and thinking to myself, wow, at 23, I was in graduate school. I was enjoying a beautiful Hawaiian day, sunny, nice breeze. And that's really how December 7th started, but then ended with that attack on Pearl Harbor and him losing his life. At 23, I could barely imagine having to have that experience in life at that age. And yet, he stood firm, and I think really exemplified what the scripture was teaching us. And that's, I want to just draw attention to this Medal of Honor recipient, and to recognize that, but in that way, not only pay respect to his life, but to the lives of all those who throughout the rest of the war and all wars since then, who have lost their life, to recognize that because they did so, we can celebrate the wonderful nation we live in. And so I'm mindful of the fact that I could stand, even in Pearl Harbor, on the memorial to the Arizona, freely and openly, and continue my life, because those people went before me to establish and keep a great country like ours. So I hope that that's the thought that you have as you think about this passage of Scripture in John 15 and how it plays out and what we can experience from it this weekend and Memorial Day weekend. So let's enjoy that with family, but also be mindful of people like Herbert C. Jones, who gave the ultimate sacrifice so that we could. I'll see you next Saturday.